Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. I'm just going to wait a couple of moments to see if anyone is jumping on. This is my first time doing this via StreamYard and on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. This is my really first time doing this live as a numerology forecast. And so welcome. I'm excited that you're all here with me. So just waiting for a couple of notifications to come through. Hoping that this is moving through. I'm going to trust that this is going through on Facebook and on YouTube. But I am going to check because I'm seeing, hold your horses. Just checking on the tech. Yay. It's live there. Am I live on Facebook? Yes, I am. Yay. Awesome. Okay. Welcome. Welcome to Shift Now, your numerology forecast for October 12th to October 15th. Thank you so much for joining me. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Arlene Grace, and I am a spiritual coach, a numerologist. I'm a channel. Hi, Lisa. And I'm on a journey here to discover what is possible, to see what it is that we are to create here in our experience as a human, to know that we are whole here in this moment, and to understand and to experience our gifts mirrored with others, right? And so I'm going to invite you to take whatever resonates for you, to leave the rest behind, and to, at the same time, allow your hearts to be open, allow your mind to be curious, because this is an energetic transition. And so the shift that can happen on a cellular level is at times profound. So I'm going to begin with today's energy. Now, today, Thursday, October 12th, we've moved into what would be Jupiter for the week. And so Jupiter is all about blessings. And the blessing of today is the information that you can receive about oneself. What I love about numerology is that numerology will always point you back to the wholeness of you. It will always bring you back to you, and it's information that will allow for you to be supported and guided to see where you may have taken on beliefs, ideas, conditions that are outside of you. It will always bring you back in. And so today's energy is that of the 9 of Clubs too. Now, we moved into October. We are well into October, and October is a 7 energy. And so I'll just begin there for a moment. 7 energy is really coming into trust. But when I really feel into the month of October, it's, do you trust the wholeness of you? What if you saw yourself as whole now? And if you saw yourself as whole now, then could you possibly see the wholeness of everyone else that is in your life, right? And what would that do? How would that shift how you see yourself? How would that shift your relationships? Would that allow for you to be the authority in your own life to know that you are whole now? And so in this energy of the 2 and 9 of Clubs, we are in this beautiful opportunity to see how we are with others, to see how we are in connection with others, right? As I was feeling into this, I was feeling into my own experience, and my own experience in relationships, lovers, right? Partners. And in the feeling of this energy, in being mirrored in my relationships, I saw that in order for me to be connected in relationships, I had to disconnect from myself. That there were parts of me that disconnected from myself in order to have that connection. And yet, at the core of my being, I could feel it in my body. I could feel the gut instinct telling me, hey, this isn't the right person. Hey, this isn't the person that you truly want to be with. Hey, there's something amiss. And yet I excluded my intuition, my gut instinct, in order to have that experience that I wanted outside of me. And so this energy here is allowing for you to raise yourself up in your own thinking. And so when you look at your own relationship to yourself and you truly play with the idea that you are whole, can you discover all of the places where you forgot, right? Because that's what's rising up. These patterns where you forgot you were whole are rising up, and they have this beautiful blessing of being mirrored with your lover, with your children, with your parents, with your business, with your clients, and all of those things. And it's really bringing us to one of the themes that are playing out in October, which is letting go of holding up the world and releasing yourselves from these codependent relationships. Who would I be if I didn't have to hold others up? Who would I be if I could see that I could fix it? If I could see that I could help someone, but I didn't do it. And I didn't do it because I was doing it to be validated. I was doing it to be loved. I was doing it because I was trying to prove them right. What if I didn't have to do those things anymore? What if I didn't have to show other people that there were these possibilities of having wealth in this way, or having a deep healing, or having the life that they truly desired? And I can hear some of the people that are going to be watching, like, I can hear you in this, oh, but I'm here to serve. Right. But part of the service that we are here to experience in the world with others is the service of being ourselves. What if I could just be? And so if I'm whole now, and I just got to be me, the fullest expression of me, then I wouldn't have to prove or get validation or love or do all of those things. That I could really come into this, I get to see the truth of me here today. And so if I get to see the truth of where my thinking is, where my beliefs are, then am I willing to shift that today? Right? And so it's this beautiful and interesting energy today, because the underlying energies of it is, paying attention to what it is that you truly want, because there is this energy of being passive. There is this energy of maybe getting frustrated, getting angry. There's twos in this energy today. So your emotions can be amplified. And at the same time, realizing that your emotions are information. Your emotions are allowing for you to know where the boundaries are for yourself, right? And that's it. That anger, healthy anger, allows for you to understand, oh, this is an energetic boundary, or perhaps a physical or emotional boundary that I do not want to experience. How am I experiencing this? Am I willing to shift it? Am I willing to feel it, free it, and shift it? And then express myself and communicate that with another person. Good morning, right? And so there's this beautiful, with all of this energy, there's also this inherent desire to connect with others, to connect in community, to connect with a lover, with your children, with your friends, but to understand that connection is always going to begin energetically first. And so what does connection feel like within me? And is what is being mirrored in those coming into my experience, is that a match? Or is my gut telling me something different, right? And so that's today's energy. And the key for today's energy is the willingness to take yourself higher in spiritual perception, or in your way of thinking. That if I am the creator of my experience and everything begins from within, and I am whole, and I trust that I am whole, then will I allow myself to act on behalf of it? And what would that be like? And so being curious with that perception, that idea that in order to experience the things that we desire, we must feel it here first, right? And so now we're going to move on to Friday, and Friday's energy is that of Saturn energy. And so Saturn energy it's an activation, but it's also this indication of if you didn't do the things where your gut or your instinct or your intuition was saying, hey, go call this person. Hey, go take a nap. Hey, you might want to pay attention to that bill. Hey, go do this thing, then you can really start to experience that in your root. And when I say root, you'd be experiencing it in, the foundation of your life, right? In the physical body, in the business, in your home, which is why wholeness is so important. Right? As we move through this month, we're talking wholeness in your spirituality, in the intuition, in what's moving through you. We're talking about wholeness in your own body and understanding and listening to the cues of your physical body. It's listening to your emotions, not connecting a story to it, but listening to your emotions because they are your guidance system, and paying attention to where you're focusing your thoughts, right? And so we move into Friday, it's a Saturn energy, and now we have this 3 8 of clubs. And so I love the 8 of clubs because it's really speaking to the power of the mind, it's power of our focus. And so our mind is going to be focused on what we are seeing and what we are experiencing in our world, either in relationship, our body, in the material. But it's our job to pay attention to where am I focused during this time, because everything that I'm focused on is being amplified out. This is creation energy, right? The 3 is the beginning of creation, and it's an amplification of energy. And so our minds and our emotions come together to connect. And whatever we are focused on is what we are recreating in our life, right? And I say recreating because the 8 of clubs can move you into a place where you're recreating the same experiences of, oh, dear me. When your invitation today is to shift your focus on what it is that you want to experience and imagining that it's here now, right? And so as you're coming into connection with the people, as you have received the blessings Thursday, to allow for you to see where you might have been dishonest with yourself, where you might have been unaware or unconscious to some of the patterns, that here you get to decide, oh, I'm doing something different. I'm not going to continue to play with this pattern. I'm not going to continue to play with this cycle. I'm actually going to notice the pattern and decide something more because I'm whole, right? And so it's this beautiful energy of, okay, as I continue to move through this day and I focus on what it is that I'm experiencing, I'm going to focus on more. Because your key today is to dream bigger. Your key today is to allow for yourself to have greater experiences here in your feeling state and bring it into the body, right? That there is no too much, that there isn't, I want to travel the world and I want to travel first class, and that's not too much. That I want to go and experience this great love with this amazing romantic partner. That's not too much. But the key in this not too much is to realize that you're not too much, and that the desires that you have are not too much, and that you yourself allow yourself to receive these things. And so there's this beautiful opening to see your own value and how you value yourself. And to notice that in what you are experiencing in your body as well, right? That the body is an indicator of how you are feeling. And so today it's to imagine, okay, well, if I want to experience great wealth, well, what would $1 million feel like in my body? Does it feel good in my body? Does my body actually receive the energy of $1 million? And as you're feeling that in your energy, I can feel there's some shifting, that things are just wanting to be transmuted. Do I have the capacity energetically to hold $1 million? And $1 million is just a number, but it's allowing for us to feel a frequency within our own bodies. If someone were to give me a check for $1 million just for being me, would I be able to receive it? And just feel that. And feel the honesty in that. And when I say honesty, it's this that's clearing up in the throat right now is really just is expressing to you, hey, we took on a belief that we weren't that valuable, that we weren't valuing ourselves enough, what we do in the world, how we express ourselves in the world enough to receive that. And so let's just transmute that now. Let's just shift that now. That there actually isn't too much, that there isn't anything that I cannot experience here in this playground I call the world, Earth. That in fact, this is what I came here to do. This is what I came here to experience. I came here to experience life. And it's the life of my choosing. And so in playing with this energy of more and more and more, we're not necessarily tying ourselves or connecting ourselves to the more as in bigger car, bigger house, expanded business. We're calling ourselves higher to the frequency of more, right? And so you begin with $1 million and someone giving you $1 million check and transmuting the energy and the frequency within your own body. But now, what about $1 million month? Can you imagine $1 million month in your business? What would that feel like? That's the more. And then going down to $1 million week. Can you feel the more in that? And so in our wholeness, as we play with this tool, as we play with frequency, we're bringing that into our whole being. We're bringing that inside ourselves so that we can transmute, so that we can shift within ourselves, which now shifts our physical experience with it, right? It shifts the dynamics in your relationships. It shifts your own perception of you, which is growth, right? So now we move into Saturday. Saturday, we're moving into Uranus. Uranus is an integration energy. And so integration is all of the things that you have experienced through the week. And this is how I experienced Uranus, is all of the things that I was paying attention to or not paying attention to that have not yet integrated into my body are now going to be integrated into my body. And so I will experience the things that I might have missed or the things that I didn't see within myself. I may discover the places where I might have been very unconscious and out of my own awareness, i.e. eating unconsciously by every single time I sit down on my couch. And this is what I discovered. Every time I sit down on my couch and I turn on Netflix, within 45 minutes, I'm probably eating something, right? Unconscious habit. And so these types of awarenesses will come up into your own experience so that you can see them. And we're now moving into a 7 of clubs and a 4 energy. And the 7 of clubs is, okay, what are you deciding today? You've had this experience, you've seen these mirrors, you've seen these patterns, you know you want something more. What are you deciding? Are you going to leap? Are you going to trust that you can have it? Will you let yourself have it? Will you let yourself be it? Will you allow yourself to be that frequency of $1 million weeks through the day, as you're doing laundry, as you're going to bed, as you're waking up? Will you be the frequency regardless of what you see? And when the mind comes in, when the personality comes in and says, oh, you don't deserve that, or oh, you can't have that, or you're looking at your bank account, it's trusting, hold on, it begins in here first. I change here first. And so I'm going to trust that I'm going to change here first. And I'm going to allow my body to shift. I'm going to allow my energy to shift. I'm going to acclimate to this frequency. And I'm going to move that out into my energetic field. Now, those of you that I see that are on here, you guys are brain game students. And so you are well aware that we have, students and coaches, we have a morphogenic field that goes out 9 meters. And so now you're bringing this frequency with your beliefs, your ideas, your thoughts, your emotions that are constantly shifting. You're moving that out into your morphogenic field. And what's within your morphogenic field starts to shift, starts to play with creation, always being created. And so now things are shifting in your environment, maybe not as fast as you want, but now you get to notice on Saturday where you're falling into comparison or expectation, or you're fantasizing, which is interesting. And when I say the word fantasizing into this place of, it's almost the same energy as false hope, right? Where you're going and you're fantasizing it in the mind, but not bringing it into the body. And so there's still this discordance between the heart and the heart and the mind. And so it's bringing this fantasy, this idea, the frequency of it back into the body so that you can experience it whole body. Right? And so your key here is to begin the journey with it. Your key here is to really feel into the frequency and allow for yourself to be inspired into an action. And so if you were to take a physical action, what would that be? And so here you're being invited to trust your own intuition, to trust your whole body, to allow for you to know that whatever that next step is, right? And it's a simple, not easy, as bringing your emotion state into the body, feeling into the frequency of it, and inviting in the question, okay, what is my next step? And allowing that to rise, either coming from your higher self, coming from your guide, coming from creator, coming from the body. Actually, even noticing the nuance of it coming from the body, right? Because we're inviting a higher perception of what your what's next is. And so your body can be experienced through the body mind, which may be your personality, which may be coming to you from a place of protection or fear. It's coming from the pattern of all of the decisions, or some of the decisions that you made in your past that kept you safe, that don't serve you now here. And so it's being aware of the wholeness of you and to discern, okay, this next step that's coming through, is this from my higher mind or is this from my body mind? And learning to discern the difference, right? And so in this energy, there is this, I'm going to take steps for it. But you're now embarking on that journey. I decide I'm taking this journey to have this energy, or to be this frequency, to embody this within my own energy so that I can experience it. And I'm going to take that action because I trust the guidance that's coming through me. And I am going to allow for the stories to fall away, the stories of why I couldn't have it, the stories of why I didn't have it, the stories of what someone told me where I took on the belief that, money grows on trees, whatever those things are. I'm going to let go of the stories. That's my action. I'm done with that. I decide that I'm going to create something new. I'm off the wheel, right? I'm off that cycle. I'm done. And then we move into Sunday, October 15th, which is now a Neptune energy. And so the Neptune energy is really about dreaming. And so for many of us, that's our day to dream, right? It's our day to, okay, this is what I'm reflecting on my week. This is what I've experienced. And now I want more of it, or now I want to experience something else. Now I see where I can shift something in my own thinking. And so it's noticing and deciding that now that I've discovered all of these things through this week, and I've discovered some of the truths and the mistruths that I've been telling myself, that I've experienced these different connections and I want more, perhaps, that you're willing to actually move in the direction of that, right? It's a karmic energy this day because there's the Six of Clubs. And when I think of the Six of Clubs, it's like truth is in your face. Something that you did not see before is rising up for you to see so that you can decide. And so it's very much like the energy of Saturday, but here you're actually about to take action with it. On Saturday, you're integrating it and you're feeling in, you're going to take an inspired action. Here, you're almost feeling propelled to do something because you are not necessarily enjoying this experience. But the key here is that there's this energy of complacency. So with these karmic influences that are rising up on Sunday, there's also this energy of, I was going to say laziness, but that's not the word. Complacency. I'm just going to stay where it is because it's safe for me to stay here. I'm just going to stay where this is because I want to please other people. I'm going to stay where I am because I am uncertain of what can happen in the future. And so there's this pull, this push to really decide and to move forward. And your key here is this energy of, okay, I'm going to connect to myself. I'm going to connect to my higher mind. And so I'm either going to take opportunities to be in service to myself, whether that's through a modality or through MetaQ or Q or meditation. I'm going to take an opportunity today to be and give to myself first and to nurture my mind, my body, my spirit. And then I'm going to feel in and connect into source or my higher self to know what it is that is truly being wanting to be expressed through me. And so it's taking the time to, allow for yourself to be on Sunday, which is beautiful. Yeah. Yay. And so these are the energies that are coming up over the next few days this week. I'm going to invite, and I see that there's a couple people on, any questions that you may have, and we can pull some cards. I'm going to ask you to type your questions, obviously, to see so that I can see them. And if you are curious, feel free to ask. Yeah. And so I'll begin by pulling a card for the community to see what energy is supporting us as we move forward this week, the week of October 13th onwards. Interesting. Five of Hearts. And so the Five of Hearts is really inviting us to take ourselves higher in love, into really seeing what it is that we want to experience. And so what I'm feeling here is this distortion, and it's coming up, it's coming back to what I was sharing earlier on. Is there a part of me that is wanting to experience great love with another, where I may be disconnecting a part of myself, where I may be closing off a part of myself, or I may be dimming my own light? And am I willing to see that and turn it back up? Am I willing to see where I am? Am I willing to be curious to allow myself to see the parts of me that I kept hidden? To see the parts where I did not love myself, to see the parts where I am willing to love the wholeness of me as I continue to move forward. Will I love myself more? And so it's a beautiful opportunity to simply decide. I decide to take myself deeper into love. I decide to feel the energy of love more consciously. I decide to be aware of this energy of love that is always flowing through me, and have that experience with others because it begins to be mirrored, right? And so I love that because with the Five of Hearts, if you truly take that opportunity to decide to be love, then you experience the blessing of it. You experience the Nine of Hearts, and the Nine of Hearts is really it's the blessing, it's the receiving, it's the transmutation of, okay, I am love. I am the experience of it. Um, I get to have that experience mirrored with others because I am shifting at a cellular level. I am turning on the light. And when I say turning on the light within ourselves, it's, shifting and turning on the biophotons that are within our own body, right? And so in that, there's this beautiful blessing energy of receiving greater experiences of love that are flowing through the body. They say that, when you love, you just can't help but experience more of it, right? The more you love, the more you love. Awesome. Lisa, what is my next step? The details here now, or am I on the way to this energy? What is my next step? Let's see. Seven of Hearts. And so the Seven of Hearts is really asking you to, have you ever experienced deep, unconditional love for yourself? And have you ever allowed for it to just flow through the body? I'm going to invite you to do that now because there's this pattern that's in the mind that's wanting to shift in this moment. Because the Seven of Hearts is saying, there are times where you feel the love that flows through you, but there's almost this hiccup in the mind where I hear it say, oh, but that's too much. And then you stop yourself. And so the Seven of Hearts is saying, hey, can you trust this love? Can you trust this love that will flow through you, that always flows through you and has never left you? Can you bring that into your awareness now? Can you feel that? I can feel it shifting in the mind. And so there's this invitation with the Seven of Hearts where it's asking you to claim, I trust the love that flows through me. And what does that feel like in the body? And to really embody the wholeness of you. This actually allows this trust, this Seven of Hearts allows for you to move into the blessing of seeing yourself as whole, as being whole. Yeah, beautiful. I love that. Yay, well done. Yeah, Leah, I would love a reading. What is my next step in business? Ugh, I can feel your giddiness. What is my next step? Hi, Shelley. I think that the notifications was me. I think that I was meant to connect on StreamYard first. So I think that was me. All right, Leah. Trusting the mind. So what I'm feeling with this energy feels very similar to to the energy that we had with Lisa, and so I love that because it's always realizing that, um, all of the us who connect into the container, we're all part of the energy of it, and so many of the messages that come through are going to resonate with others, right? And so the 7 of clubs is a beautiful energy. It's the energy that we're gonna have displacing us on, Saturday, but it feels very much like, "Okay, I decided I'm gonna have this business. I decided that I'm gonna do this business. I decided I'm gonna put myself out in this business. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it." And then there's like this click in the mind where it's like, "Oh, I can't do it." Or it's not even I can't do it. It's this click in the mind of, "Mm, oh, I'm not good enough." And so you get so high in the energy of like, yeah, 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 yeah. And then it's like a quick click in the brain where it's like, oh, hold on. And so the 7 of clubs is asking you to, okay, can you let go of that pattern? Can you trust yourself? Can you trust that this is, can you trust that this is actually what you want? And I can hear like there are things that you've wanted in the past, and then after, and there are things that you wanted in the past, and then you changed your mind. But it's okay to change your mind. And so, are you willing to just trust that this is what you want now and that you can let yourself have that now? And so, to feel trust, can you feel trust in the body and allow that just to move through the entire body and allow that to move up to the pattern to shift it out? I trust myself. I trust that this is what I want. I decide to have this business. I trust. I'm done with the stories of I'm not good enough, or like there's like a comparison. I'm done with all of these things. I just trust. I want it. I can feel it. It's mine. I am it. And I trust this feeling that I have in the body of what it's like to be in service. In fact, I value it. Can you feel that shifting? I can feel it moving out your ear. And so, yeah, I love that because the result here is the King of Hearts. And the King of Hearts is, you know, it's letting go of the ego, right? It's cutting away at the ego. You can see he's cutting at his head, right? And it's letting go of the the personality, the part of you that thought that you couldn't have it or that you weren't good enough or all of those things. It's to remember, hold on, I am this essence that's flowing through, that's animating this body, that I'm here to experience my life, and this is what I choose to experience my life in this moment. And so I love that as your result, the King of Hearts, right? Becoming authority of the wholeness of you and deepening that relationship. Awesome. Let me know if that resonates for you. Anyone else have questions? I'm going to ask you, Shelly, if you have a question. Yeah, it's like, what do I have a question about? Anything? Yeah. Questions. What shift will take me to the next best step of balancing home business life? Ah, great question. I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath, Wanda. And we're just going to invite your heart to open. It's just going to invite in some love. Yeah, take a deep breath. Yeah, that's what I thought. Love it. Two of Hearts. So the shift will come when you choose yourself first. And so in the choosing yourself first, in the loving yourself first, in the connecting to yourself first, it will actually create the balance in your home and business life, because as you so when you imagine yourself to be in this energy of love where you're in full connection with the wholeness of you, and you're moving that into your morphogenic field, you're not only shifting your own perception and your own the frequency of what you're channeling, so your thoughts, but you're also changing your morphogenic field. You're changing the energy within your morphogenic field, which is now creating a shift in what you're experiencing, because the shift is in the perception itself. And so as you come into deeper connection with you, so I'm just going to invite you to feel into the energy of love. And just allow that to shift, because it's shifting these patterns of I could feel it's shifting these patterns of the ideas, the ideas and the beliefs and the examples and experiences we've taken on to as you know, what it is to be a mom, what it is to be a business owner, how I'm supposed to be here, how I'm supposed to act, what are people going to think, all of these things are just shifting out. And you're being invited to play with the question, what if I just received me? Like, what would it be like to receive the love of me? And so as you're feeling this love moving through your body and it's shifting, just imagine, and you know how, moving it out from your body and allowing yourself to receive that. And playing with that energy and allowing for yourself to receive more and more and more of that. It's safe to receive all of me. It's safe to be all of me. Yeah. And it's continuing to shift out energy. Right? And the result of that is this initiation into deeper love. Now, the Jack of Hearts, like, now you get to shift the distortion of I must sacrifice a part of something in order to have what I want. Well, really and truly, it's I get to have both. I get to have a balanced home life and a balanced business life. I get to have both. I decide I'm going to have it. And at the core of that, it's because I love me, right? Like, I fucking love me. I came here to experience these things. And so as I love me, I allow for these things to fall away so that I can move and initiate myself into a journey of deeper love. And as I move into this journey of deeper love, well, shit, like, you're moving onto this journey of deeper love for you, deeper love for what it is that you want to experience, deeper love for those in your business, deeper love for your business, deeper love for, for your family, for your life itself. And so everything begins to shift just with that, just with loving yourself more. And so isn't that beautiful? Right? And so simple. I love that the answer is simple. And again, maybe sometimes not easy to remember because we quickly forget. But I love that. I love that for you. Let me know if that resonates for you. I'm going to invite you to open the back. Awesome. Okay, I'll play. I believe I fully accepted that I must close the door on a human in my life right for now. Who wants to come through? Oh, who wants to come through in this? What wants to come through in this? I got to read that again. I believe I fully accepted that I must close the door on a human in my life for now. What wants to come through? Okay, got it. Thank you. The first question that rises up from me as it's coming through is this inspired? And I can hear your mind. It's like, I can't tell if this is inspired. Okay, so come into the heart. Interesting energy. 6 of Diamonds. It's interesting because the 6 of Diamonds is coming through as what you see is what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get, which is based on what it is that you are, how you are perceiving it, right? And so are you perceiving it from the mind of the label of who you think you're supposed to be? Or there's a couple of different personalities. So the mind of who you think you're supposed to be, because that's what you were told, or who you think you're supposed to be as a spiritual being, because that's what you were told, or who you think you're supposed to be as just a kind, empathic human. And so your invitation with this is to pull all of those pieces together. And so take a deep breath. And as Shelley Anderson, as the wholeness of who I am, as this being, as this energy that is flowing through this body, that was named Shelley Anderson, that is animating this form. What do I want? Because if I see myself in my wholeness, and I see this human and every other human in their wholeness, then what's inspired? And just allow this energy to just move, because I can feel like it's shifting the energy up. I am whole. I love that. Yeah, I can feel it shifting. And so in the wholeness of me, you come into deeper connection with yourself. I love the 2 of Clubs, because the 2 of Clubs for me is my transformational self. But you come into the truth of what's wanting to express through you. And in the expression of what's coming through you, there is no judgment. It just is. It just is the decision. Oh, I'm inspired. This is the decision. There's no judgment. There's no comparison. There's no any of those things. There's no story. It just is. This is what it is in this moment. And I trust that if I am closing the door because that's inspired, then I sure as hell will be inspired to open the door when the time comes. Right? And so I love this. Coming back into the wholeness of you. Coming back into what it is that I want, what it is that I'm deciding, what it is that I want to experience. Is this a match in the wholeness of who I am? And knowing that the closing of the door is not a rejection of the human, it's a rejection of, or it's a closing the door of behaviors, or closing the door of experiences that don't match you, which I think is beautiful. Let me know if that resonates for you. Yes, I feel that big time, so spot on, as I've been feeling that, but it's almost a pattern that's unconscious and sticks. Yeah, but the pattern can be gone now. You can be done with the pattern. It's almost like, when the pattern rises up, Leia, you just like, oh, I see you. Yeah, we're done. I find myself doing that all the time. I laugh. I'm like, oh, I see you. Okay, yeah, well, we're done with that though. And so it's almost like this, almost sometimes like a retraining of the mind of, oh yeah, I used to do that. We don't do that no more. I'm going that way. I decided to do it anyway. Yeah, you're welcome, Shelley. Awesome. Any other questions? I'm sorry that the notifications did not work out well. I'm going to have to figure that out. But this was fun. I loved doing this. And so I am definitely going to do this again on Monday. I think I'll do a couple days, Monday and Thursday at 11 a.m. EST is the plan. All right. And so if there are no other questions, everyone has been answered today, then I am going to say thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for your energy, your questions, your curiosities, and I will see you. Oh, yay. I love that. Ah, that's beautiful, Wanda. I love that. Beautiful. You're welcome, everyone. I'll see you in the spaces, and I'll definitely see you on Monday. I'm going to figure this thing out so you guys get the notifications. Have a beautiful day. I love you all, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.